Hey guys, I didn't even know you were there. Welcome to Ken Finnan's neighborhood for the live from sunny Chatham. I should have done it outside. I probably can next Tuesday. I may do it outside. It gets dark near the end, but it's kind of fun. I'll set up a light. Get to see my wonderful yard. Maybe a couple foxes or rabbits come by. Again, welcome to Capital Advantage Tutoring's live Q&A, where I can ask questions on any FINRA exam. I did my poll. Hopefully everyone who's on here. It's funny. I have more answers than people that are showing up as part of my live. So let's get going. First of all, thank you for joining. I love having you guys here. I love doing this. I look forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays when I get to talk to people who I normally don't talk to a lot. Some of you guys are my students, which is great. Some are not. If you're on here, please jump on and say hi so I can say hi to you. If you need help with Series 7 stuff, I'm happy to help you. Go to my website, series7exam.org, and you can go there. I have a crappy little TikTok. I have Instagram under Series 7 Whisperer. I think you can find me on TikTok under Finster9 something like that. Or maybe Blue Collar Finance. I don't know. My podcast I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get that out there, and we'll do that. There's not much on it yet. We're getting there. Okay. So now, so people are saying stuff. We'll get there. So now, don't forget, really, really solid material in the Achievable stuff. I like them. Even though, yes, to be fair, I'm getting money from them, but I wouldn't do it if I didn't like them because I could sell Notman stuff, Kaplan stuff, Past Perfect. I don't. I sell Achievable and I sell STC. I like them. Michael Weiss does like them. Hey, Michael, how are you? Did you get, so it's series7exam.org. I typed it when the thing was left if you need to get in touch with me. So now, the Achievable, please feel free to buy that. If there's some links in there, if you want to learn how to trade, jump on that. The Global Wall Street Global. That's Peter Tuchman who does these Wall Street wrap-ups, which I love. Even if just ignore the sales part of it, just watch that. You're going to learn what happened this week, and he'll give you an idea of what's going to happen next week. Oh, that's right, Nilu. I was thinking, wait a second, you took it today, but we had a conversation. Okay. Okay. We can, but it's not going to be a big deal. So, okay. You can almost see my dog in the reflection a little bit. So, let's jump down. Everyone who's on here, please give your votes. I just want to see what everyone's doing. Okay. Yes. By the way, Jessica, it's called the maintenance call. Make sure we got that right. It's a maintenance call. So, again, hit my links. Go on there. If you want to do Achievable, go there. I love them stuff. STC is awesome. They have a lot of products. You get a discount. If you want to buy some cheap stuff, like maybe used books, go on my Amazon links, hit that up. Help a brother out. Okay, so now I'm actually doing okay. I am going to end the poll now. And at 14 votes, it's good. Okay. Boom. So let's see what comes up. Okay. I think all of them, we do a little. Okay. Ruben, just passing by. I know you need to get. So, Ruben, you need to be on here. Oh, everyone. Snaps for Ruben. He is taking the test tomorrow, and he does need to go to bed. He needs to get off this. He needs to get off this thing. I'd love to have you on here. I love having you here, Ruben, but I need you to get some sleep. So your passing is more important than my stats. Okay? That's the way I am. Okay. Now, John, how are you? Ruben, you're going to get some sleep. You're going to be fine. Jessica, how are you? John, Michael, is it Curlio? Armana, how are you? Okay. Nilu, we got this. You're gonna pass it in 2 weeks. You're gonna nail it. Okay, so here's what happened. 50% of people do the read then chapter exams, then 28% do 28. Okay, so 14% did the read, sleep with the book under the pillow and pray, which I could get, and 7% do just questions. I do think, good night, Robin, get off of here. So I do think that people do that, and there's a couple people on Reddit who said that, and the guy knows, I mean, he passed 2 exams so far using that strategy. It's good, but it is what it is. Jacob, let me talk about a couple of things. Jacob is running these great little study groups. He's super. He's a young guy. He's trying to do this. I still want to talk to you at some point. Maybe over the weekend we can chat. He does these study groups. I'm not part of it. It's just basically Chileo. Thank you. There you go. Okay, now I know. I'll forget it later, but Chileo, that works. Irish, good Irish name. I like that. So if we have this study group, I think it's not about me helping you. It's about you going on there and being able to bounce ideas off people, especially now that, you know what, put your email in here. Just you put it in there and I'll delete it after about 10 minutes. So before we leave, I'll scroll up, and if you want to, because Jacob has a really long email, so you can do that. But here's, guys, if you're going to say you're going to do the study group, show up, because Jacob's doing this work, and then 2 people show up or 1 people show up, which is awesome. But if you get a lot of people to do it, and it's good, and he's doing the work. I think that'll help everyone. I do think having somebody to bounce ideas off of, especially since we're still sort of working from home, that becomes a problem. Okay. Forget about it. I got it. So when I say the Goombas in the selling group, you might get a little offended. Okay. So you guys see that I have 2. I'm starting the books. I'm doing Series 6 and Series 7 books at the same time. I'm going to try to drop a Series 7. God, I sound like an idiot. I'm going to try to drop a Series 7 book chapter every Tuesday, and then a Series 6 chapter every Thursday. I don't know if I'm cannibalizing my videos, but I don't want them to go up. I actually wrote down, I have about 200 questions from the Series 7 and 6 in my head that I've done, not from the test, but I've done. I'm going to actually do another SIE video of just, I have to figure out how to put them on PowerPoint and then do it that way because I'm an idiot. I'm going to put them on PowerPoint, and then I'll do another SIE question. I will probably do a Series 7 one, and then, hey, Alexis, how are you? And then I'm going to try, I'll see if I can do a 66 one this weekend. It's just hard because that when I get embarrassed because I'll pass them all. I'll do well, but sometimes these exams that these vendors run really kick my ass because they go really tricky. Okay. And I don't have any access to 66 questions because SDC's let me do the other ones, but they haven't let me do the 66 that maybe they think is proprietary. I'm working on it, Ginger. I'm trying. To be fair, if you do the 63 video, that's half the 66. That's the regs part, which most people have the most problem with. It's the regs that people have problems with. It's not the other shit. The other shit's usually pretty on point. Okay. Now let's go back to some questions because I just wasted time talking to myself, and I don't like to talk to myself. That's why I don't post shit on Reddit about how great I am and how good my video is doing. I'm not doing these, I crossed 4,000 videos. I'm not doing the thank you thing because it's not about me. Okay. Trying to help you guys. Okay. But please hit like and subscribe and tell these people because I do have a big ego. Okay. So, John, let's talk about positive and negative leverage. So, well, you know what? Let's come back to that because it's not really heavily tested, but I want to come back to that. So now, and Jessica's, I'm going to women first, right? So Jessica goes. So basically, what is margin? So let's talk about margin for a second, okay? So margin is borrowing money, okay? Borrowing money to buy shares, okay? Are we okay with that so far? So far, that's easy, right? So, okay. Okay. Oh, God, I keep disappearing in the video. So margin is when we borrow shares. So Reg T comes in, and its Reg T is 50%. So if we want to buy 10,000 in stock, we deposit $5,000. If we borrow, buy 50 grand, we have to deposit 25. That part we got. But the minimum maintenance, which is the amount of equity you can have, the least amount of equity you can have before they ask you for more money, is on the long side, it's 25% of the market value. On the short side, it's 30. My voice goes crazy. It's because I'm dying. Now, so if we have, I know I agree. I wish Fender had a practice exam like the SAE for the 63, but they don't. So you got me. So if I have 50 grand in market value and 20 grand in debit balance, my equity is 30. So if I divide 30 by the 50, that gives me that's 60%. So my equity is 60%, totally over 50, totally good. If that equity falls below 25% on the long or 30% on the short, you have to put up more money. Boom. How do we know? So first of all, if they say what is the minimum maintenance, you just multiply the market value by that 25% or by the 30%. So if it's $100,000 market value and they say what's the minimum maintenance on the long side, you do 100 times 25%, 25 grand, that's my minimum maintenance. If it's 100 grand market value short, you're going to do 100 grand times 30%. That gives you 30,000. So your minimum equity can't go below that. That's easy. If they say at what market price do you hit minimum maintenance, that's a little trickier. It's allergies. I promise. Not Delta or now the Lambda one. So hope not. So if I have to find out what market value, they're saying market value drops. As your market value drops, your equity goes away. So at what point does so much of it go away that you lose, that you get a maintenance call? So this is what you do. You take the debit balance and divide it by 0.75. So our original thing was 50 grand market value, 20 debit. So we know we have 30 grand in equity. But if they say, how low can the market value go before you get a maintenance call? Well, let's do it. So let's get my calculator, my handy dandy calculator. There it is. And we're going to do 20 grand my debit balance divided by 0.75. So that gives me 26,000. So if my equity, if my market value drops to 26,666, I am right at 20. I am right at 25%. Because think, if my market value is 26,666, that's my number, and I subtract my debit balance, which is 20 grand, that gives me such an evil number, but 6,666 in equity. If you were to divide that by the 26,000, 66666 divided by 26,666, you get 24.9. So it's about 25%. So basically, if you take the debit balance, then divide it by 0.75, you're going to get the market value where you hit minimum maintenance. Now, if it's the short side, you do the credit balance divided by 1.3. So if my credit balance is 50 grand, I'm going to do 50,000 divided by 50 grand divided by 1.3. So that means the stock can go up. I should have done it that way. So I'm going to do 50 grand divided by 1.3. See, I did 50 grand the credit balance divided by 1.3. That gives me 38,000, whatever that is. Okay. That 38,000 is the highest the market value can go. If it goes any higher, I'm going to be in violation of minimum maintenance and have to drop cash pretty much immediately. Okay. So again, if they say what's minimum maintenance, you just multiply the number by either 25 or 30%. But remember, never less than 2 grand. So if you come up with a number less than 2 grand, it's 2 grand. If they say what market value will you hit a minimum maintenance, I talk faster than my brain sometimes, or the other way around, I have no idea. You would do debit balance divided by 0.75 or the credit divided by 1.3 because that's 30%. Hope that helps. Okay. Now, John, understand positive and negative leverage. Leverage, I said this to one of my students, leverage is when you borrow. If John's on here, he knows. Leverage is all about borrowing. And Ruben, you better be off this thing into sleep. So now, Jessica, I hope that helped. Now, leverage is when you borrow. Okay? If you borrow, you're going to leverage the money and invest in something else. The way I think of positive and negative leverage is this. If you borrow the money and you invest it and you're earning more than you're paying to borrow it, you have positive leverage. If you borrowed it and you did it, okay, and you borrow the fund, okay, let's make sure we got this. Okay, let's make sure I'm thinking the right way, okay? Okay. Positive leverage is, can you guys still see me? I think you should be able to. So positive leverage is I'm in a company and I borrow money at like 5%. If I then use that to create something and I earn more than 5%, that's positive leverage after taxes and all that. If I borrow it at 5% and I only earn 2 or 3%, that's negative leverage because I'm earning less than it cost me. So positive leverage is a good thing. Negative leverage is a bad thing, unless there's some sort of cost leader. Okay, unless there's a reason for doing it. So positive leverage is when a company borrows money and whatever it costs, you're earning more than that with your funds. So I borrow $1 million, I'm paying 5%, which is going to be 50 grand. If I earn more than 50 grand on that million I borrowed, then I have positive. I've earned less than 50, it's negative. Hope that helps. If it did, boom, hit a like. And share this shit. I hope it has everyone who's taken the 7, okay? Okay, so Michael, Dalio. Okay, so here's the deal. On the membership, so let's talk. I'll go through this. Since he asked, thank you for serving that up for me, so I don't have to do it. 3 levels of membership. The $9.99 one, you get my options videos, which are value. And if I do another video, that goes there first kind of thing. Okay, but that's not, it's more about the options videos. And you can actually, my number should be in there. You can text me with questions, one-offs. The $24.99 one is I meet once a week on Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And there's no limit to how many people. The problem with it is there's no limit to how many people can be on it. but normally it's not more than 2 or 3 people, but it's a Zoom call where we talk to each other and I give you answers and we share screen. And the good thing is it's like a study group with me moderating it for $25 a month. Not a bad. Okay. The $99 one, you get all of the other stuff, just like the 24. So the $24.99, you get the options video plus this. The $99 one, which seems like a lot of money, but here's the deal: you get those plus you get every other week, every other Tuesday. We can always work out. It's right now it's at 4 p.m., but depends on what we want to do. It's a Zoom call with a max of 2 people, so it's a semi-private for $99. Remember, I charge $150 an hour, and that's going to be every other week. You get that plus the Monday call. So it's not horrible. I'm not saying you have to do it. Again, I'm doing this regardless of that. I just thought that would be a fun way to do. So I can justify making phone calls for people. I'm not bankrupting you. I'm just, people putting money in. Okay, so now, and I think what I'm going to do is that what I may do, and it's okay if I have to see if they're okay with it, is that video I will record and then post it in the membership group, the $9.99 group, so they can watch it. And then maybe 2 weeks later, I put it in the main group. I have to figure that out. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to disenfranchise people. I'm just trying to do something, because if I can do this and make enough money to offset what I do other than that, I'll just do this. I'll do lives every night. Okay. Jacob, you're a funny man. All the strategies. Okay. So, okay. Navigation, no problem. Hit me with questions. Hey, Stefan, that's awesome. Settings are well. Are you getting a am I how far behind am I? Oh, only 10 minutes behind. So Stefan, are you guys getting, I thought Brandon, if you're working at Fidelity for the SIE, does that once a week video tutoring thing. I hope it is, because he is solid. He's good. Obviously, I don't think anyone's as good at me, but as a second choice, he's good. If you guys need a tutor and you can't afford my rate, go reach out to Brandon. I think he's actually the same as me, but Michael Weiss, who is, I think, Sirius M tutor, just tell him I sent you. I think his rate's lower than mine, which is fine, but he's solid tutor. He runs the Series 7 exam Reddit. Okay. And then actually there's another guy in New York, professional exam tutor. He has an Instagram too. He's solid too. I like him. He's not on here ever, but I think he's pretty good. He's newer. He's only been doing it for 2-3 years, but he seems to be okay. Okay. You're ahead of them. I got it. Okay. Good. I like get ahead of this shit. Okay. So now somebody asked for a question. Okay. So this question 2 times on one practice exam last night. And this question has 2 different answers. Which of the following is a required disclosure on the U4? Okay. Well, you got to give me the choices. Okay. Oh, John, you stuck 2 questions in there. Okay. Jacob, give me the choices, because you got to that's what it is. Okay. So here's the deal on the U4. I'm going to give you some of this stuff. So 1, you have to give your residential history for the last 5 years, and you have to give your employment history for the last 10. So think about it. I was 20 years old when I started in this business. Okay. 20 years old. I had to list my middle school. I remember Saltbrook School in New Providence. I had to list what I did in 7th grade. Okay. So that you have to, so your employment history for the last 10 years, your residence history for the last 5. Okay. Okay. So that's funny, John. So the whole point is, it's like question 1 with A, B, C in it, right? So U4, you have to disclose any kind of criminal activity you have, and it only, and I think, if I remember right, I should remember because I do this shit. You have to disclose any criminal activity, no matter how far back, and you have to disclose any financial liens and stuff in the last 10 years from when you first started, when you first registered, and any criminal, any felony conviction, or any securities misdemeanor conviction, or if the SEC, enjoins you or says you're banned from the business or violated securities law, you cannot work until that 10 years is up. It's called statutory disqualification. Oh, Peter, you have the exam tomorrow. How do you feel? You got to do this, right? How are you scoring? Okay. Let me go back. So now I'm going to hit John's little sneaky double question. I hope that helps with the U4. And that could be on any test between the SIE or the 7. Okay, so let's go over. And then next Tuesday, I'm going to ask about my types of videos. I have the shorts. I have the TikToks. Same thing. I know everyone likes the exam ones the best, okay? Employment history for 10 years is always the answer. residential history for 5 years. Okay, residential history for 5 years, and you have to independently verify it. If it's two different answers, it's 10 years employment, 5 years residence. Okay, and we used to have to verify for 3. We used to have to disclose 10 and then verify the last 3. Now FINRA does all the verification. We do have to do a credit check and a stuff, but FINRA does it too. Okay, now, okay, where are you? Hope that helps. Okay, Stefan. Okay, Stefan, I have a video on that, but I'll go over it real quick. So you got to find. I have a whole video on X dividend date, and if I don't, maybe I should make sure I do one. But I thought I did. So there's 4 dates. DERP, DERP, Declaration X, Record Payable. Declaration is the day we declare it. They say we're going to pay $1 dividend. Now we set the record date. Let's say we set the record date for the dividend for the Series 7 and the SIE, and the 6 wouldn't do it. Maybe 66 might have it. Who knows? So declaration date is the day we announce. The record date is the day you must be an owner of record to get the dividend, which means your security must have settled by then, which means you have to buy it 2 business days before the record date, unless you do a cash trade, and then you can do it the day of. So if the record date is Thursday the 25th, the cum date, I'm going to make sure you say that right. I'm not going to spell it for you, but you can guess. It's Latin for with. So that's 2 days before. So if it's Thursday, you have to buy the stock by Tuesday. Because if you buy it on Tuesday, it settles on Wednesday. Thursday, it settles on Thursday. Okay. So it settles on Thursday, which means you get the dividend. So at the end of the day, the transfer agent or the paying agent looks at the list and goes, hey, Stefan's name is on the list. We're going to pay him a dividend. So if you buy it on Tuesday, the buyer gets a dividend. The seller does not. Always remember, you have to buy it the day before the X date to get the dividend. Okay. Now, if you buy it on the X day, remember, what does X mean? X means without. Ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband means without a. Okay. So X dividend means without a dividend. So it's trading without a dividend. So on the day before the record date, it is trading without the dividend, which means the buyer doesn't get the dividend. So the seller does. That's the first day the seller can do it. Now, since using past perfect, I know what they do. They try to trick you. They throw all those words in there, and then they go, if you buy it for a cash settlement, which means if you buy a cash settlement, which means same-day settlement, don't confuse cash transaction. Don't refer to cash account, which is just a no-margin account, with or cash transaction with the cash settlement. Cash settlement means same day. So if the record date's Thursday and you buy it on Thursday as a cash settlement, you can buy it on Thursday. If you buy it on Friday, that's technically your X day. It's not the X days the day before, but for you personally, if you buy it on a cash settlement the day after the record date, you don't get shit. Okay, I hope that helps. What happens? What happens on the X day? The stock drops by the amount of the dividend. Okay. And all orders placed below the market, which is what? Slobs over bliss, bliss. Buy limits, sell stops. Those are reduced on the X day. Okay. Hope that helps, Stefan. If it does, hit a like. If it doesn't, give me a down. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. Discounted cash flow. Okay. Now, okay. That works. This is series 66. I got to start doing the chapters. I think that helps people. But I'm just lazy. I'm just inherently lazy. Okay. So now, discounted cash flow. So you have to think of it this way. So if you're going to invest now, and I say I'm going to get, say I make 200 grand a year teaching this year and 205 the next year and 210 the next year. Am I actually doing better? Or am I staying the same or doing worse? And you think, oh, you're doing better, but that's not sure, because think we have inflation now. Inflation is, skyrocketing. Okay. So basically, discounted cash flow is taking all your future cash flows and discounting them back through some magic number that your CFA does to bring them back to be what they're worth in today's dollars. That's what you have to think of it. Yes, you talk to a CFA, he's going to kick my ass and say it's not exactly the same. But for the test, you're taking all your future cash flows to bring them back to determine present value. Okay. So that's the point here. So you're making my 200, 205, 210, 230, whatever it is. You have to bring them back. You have to take the 205 and bring it back to see what it's worth today. Bring to 210 in 2 years and bring that back to see what it's worth in today's dollars. So you're discounting the cash flows for inflation or whatever discount number you use to determine if it's worth it. So you're using discounted cash flow to determine present value. Okay, so discounted cash flow is a method of that. So if you have a bond, it's going to take all the bond payments plus the par value and bring them back. If it's a zero coupon, they're only going to do the maturity value. Hope that helps. Now, it's amazing how the amount of people go up and down. It's weird watching it. Okay. Now, dollar weighted average. So dollar weighted versus time weighted average. Dollar weighted average and time weighted averages are two different ways of measuring a portfolio. Dollar weighted average is how you measure your portfolio using the money you put in and take out, and you're withdrawing money and adding money, and we take that into account. So that's a great way of determining your return personally, because your money is going in and out. But it's not good to compare two managers that way, because you may have really skittish investors who put money in and out all the time. They sell at the low, they buy at the high, they're fucking up your return. Where if the other manager has guys who just sit and they ride and die with this guy, right? So they don't care. So he's always going to have a better return because he doesn't have the withdrawals timing risk. So they don't use dollar weighted, they use time weighted, where they're not counting the money in and out. They're just looking at the investments and what they're returning, not based on money in and out, the withdrawals and contributions. Time weighted is good for comparing managers. Dollar weighted is good for determining your personal return. Hope that helps, John. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. 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 Just going to catch. So I did that. 75 in the first quiz. Yeah. It's hard. Past perfect is a son of a bitch hard. Okay. So Peter. Okay. Okay. Peter. Okay. You're getting 75%. I think you're ready. Okay. Peter, that's the thing. So Anthony's dead on right with this. Okay. 100%. Sometimes it's, if you don't know the answer, try to eliminate one or two and get your odds up. Okay. Here's the thing. One, if you're taking it tomorrow morning, get the fuck off this thing and go to sleep. Okay. You get sleep. If you have SDC, make sure you know the crunch time facts. Maybe if you have time, maybe review chapter 2 and chapter 20. Just a quick one. 20 is really important. 2 is regs. That's important too. 14 through 20 are great. Okay. Maybe listen to my video on 20 and 2 and just go through that. Make sure you go through the crunch time facts. If you have time, maybe do a skim through the learning guide from STC. I like them a lot. Okay. How have you been doing? Did you do the achievable one on my video? Don't do it tonight. If you're taking the test tomorrow, no more testing. Peter, have you taken the one where I do the achievable exam online? You should take a look at that and see how, if you did well on that, that means it's 2 different vendors. You're solid. 75% on the exams. If you're not memorizing it, you're in good shape. If you're memorizing all the answers, oh, that's B, that's C, well, that's a different story. But here's the thing. Take your time. I can't say this enough. Read all 4 choices before you choose. That's just common sense, because you don't want to jump on the wrong answer. And I'd say right before you hit submit, go back and recheck the first 5. Go back and recheck the first 5 to make sure that's when you're nervous. Like I always joke that Brett Favre, Hall of Fame quarterback, first game in the Super Bowl, he throws it in the stands, and then he throws like 20 in a row. Because the first one is when you have the jitters, okay? So go back and check the first 5, but understand you don't change answers unless it's what I call punch you in the face wrong. If you're like, oh, I think it's wrong or right, leave it. If it's like, holy crap, Peter, you're an idiot. Now, I'm not saying you're one. I'm saying you're in your own head. You go, oh my God, that's ridiculous. That's when you change it. So, Peter, you're going to nail this. You're in good shape. Okay. Oh, there you go. It helps. Hopefully it helps. Okay. Sasha. Okay. Okay. Wait, so Peter, are you taking the exam tomorrow? You're done. If you were taking the test tomorrow, the only thing you can do, okay? So Peter, if you are taking a test tomorrow, don't do it. The only thing you could do is go on, watch my taking a final video, go on my achievable and listen to how I do it. Don't score yourself. Just listen to it. It's maybe an hour long. And just listen to how I do it. It's taking a final achievable. Make sure it's SIE, not the 7 one. Okay. And listen to it. If not, go get some sleep. You're going to rock this thing. Take your time. Peter, I know you're going to get it. Okay. But don't do another exam. No, like I tell everyone goes, should I take an exam the day before? And if Ruben's on here, I told him not to, and he did one anyway. Because it doesn't help you. Because if you do well, it still solidifies it, but that doesn't helping you. But if you do bad, it just gets in your head. Also, if you're going to run a marathon, you wouldn't run a marathon the day before you run a marathon. So today, the day before the test is always about, and I have a video on this, today is about carbo loading, right? Just adding knowledge and relaxing and watching Netflix, hang out with your girlfriend or boyfriend, go out with your friends, not drinking, just go out with your friends and have fun. Just kind of relax. Okay. Not late night. Okay. Now, Refunding and pre-refunding. I get this all the time, and I should do a video. So you don't need to know the nitty-gritty math part of it, but you need to understand it. So refunding is, think of refunding as refinancing. So you have a bunch of credit cards, boom, slow down. Refunding is like you're the issuer and you have a bond that's trading at like 10%. That's the coupon. That means you're paying 10%. What if rates drop to like 5 or 6? Do you want to keep paying 10 or do you want to pay 5? You want to pay 5. So what you do is you issue a new bond at 5% and use that money to pay off the old bond. That's refunding. It's easy. Refinancing. Now the issue is pre-refunding. What if you go to refinance the bond and it's not callable? Okay. That means I can't. I'm definitely doing a video on this. I have to over the weekend, okay? Because this is a big one. And maybe I'll even put it, if I do it short enough, I can put it on the talk of the deck. Okay, so now, if you have, so say I have a 10% bond, rates are now 5, and it's only munis can really do this because corporates, the math doesn't work. So I have a muni, I'm New York City, I have a 10% bond, rates drop to 5. I'd rather do a 5% than a 10%. We know why, because it's cheaper, but it's not callable or not callable yet. Crap, I still want to save money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a bond at 5% anyway. Why would I do that? So now I have 2 bonds. I have a 10% original bond and I have a 5%er. Now let's do math here. So let's say I issued you a $10,000 10% bond. That means I'm paying you $1,000 a year. Okay. I now issue another $10,000 bond for 5%. So I'm paying them $500 a year. So I'm paying you $1,000 and them $5. I don't see how that helps me. Let's go. So I'm now, remember, when I issued this bond, I now got $10,000 by issuing the bond. Okay. I do it every Tuesday and Thursday. Boom. I do it every Tuesday and Thursday, Jared. Every Tuesday and Thursday, at least until the whole COVID is over. Then I'm going to drop down to Tuesday, but it seems like COVID's never going to end. So I'm doing this forever. Okay. I'm going to get back to Jared. I'll hit you in a second. I will finish the pre-refunding so Sasha doesn't go, shut up and answer. So I now have $10,000 from issuing that bond, that second bond at a low rate. What am I going to do with that 10 grand? Because it's cash. I'm going to go open an escrow account, which is like a legal account to put the money in, and I'm going to buy 10% treasuries. Because let's say you can do that. I'm going to buy 10%. I'm going to buy $10,000 worth of 10% treasuries. So if I, the issuer, buy $10,000 worth of 10% treasuries, doesn't that pay me $1,000 a year? Yes. And don't I owe you $10,000 a year? So I'm going to take the escrow account and attach it to your bond. So every time I get paid the $1,000, it goes to pay you guys. That's pre-refunding. So pre-refunding is, since I can't refund it yet because it's either not callable or not callable yet, I'm going to issue a new bond at a lower rate, use that money to buy treasuries, and use the money I get from the treasuries to pay you. And now I don't give a shit about your bond anymore because the treasury's taking care of it. Now, you as the investor, are you happy or pissed? At first, you think you're pissed, but wait. You're now, instead of having to worry about me making payments, now the treasury is, as the money comes in from the treasury, it's paying you. So that specific bond now goes to AAA rated because it's backed by the treasury legally with an account that's attached to it. So you're happy. Not only are you getting the higher coupon, because interest rates drop and you still get, it's guaranteed. Here's the thing. If it's an escrow to maturity bond or pre-refunded, usually we pre-refund to the next call date. So once it's pre-refunded and it's callable at some point, it's going to be called. So if you see a bond is pre-refunded for a 5-year call, it is now a 5-year bond. It is going to be, so it's not very volatile. So once you see pre-refunded or a mandatory put option where they can sell it, the issuer can sell it for 5 years, it becomes a 5-year bond. So if they ask volatility, you look, say you have a 15-year non-callable, a bond pre-rendered to call in 5 years, and then a bond with a mandatory put option in 5 years. Those two bottom ones are 5-year bonds, which means they have less volatility than the 15 or 20-year one, even though they seem to be longer. Okay, so hope that helps Sasha with the pre-refunded, and hope I didn't make it worse. But I am going to do a video on that with charts and stuff like that. That'll help. Okay, now, Jacob, a bond has a 7%. Oh, hold on. Boom. Oh, awesome. Really? It worked? I never know. Sometimes I ramble, and like if you talk to my family, they say I make everything worse. So before, Jacob, I answer yours, Jared. Okay. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I do this. Come on and ask any question you want, and there it goes. If you need a higher level, join the membership, and I have some Zoom calls. Not pushing it. I'm going to be doing this forever. I'm happy to do this. If nobody bought the memberships, I'd still be happy to do this. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, also if you do this, also make sure, thank you, Ginger. Make sure, and if you like what I'm doing, please hit like. It's an ego. I get an ego. I'm insecure. So, and please, Trevor, how are you? Also, if you like what I'm doing, please share this with people. Share this around. Share it with your officers. If you have a boss, sell it. If you like your boss and you think it's 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday Eastern. Please share it. Send it to your registration people. Send it to your bosses. I'm trying to build this thing because if I can build this enough, I'm probably maybe a year away for this. I can probably do this shit every night. Okay. Now, let's go back to Jared. I'm on here all the time. Just come in and ask questions, and that works. So now, where are you? So it's Jacob. A bond has a 7% coupon and an offering price of 108. So that's a premium, right? Okay. And it matures in 10 years. What's the yield to maturity? You will not ever actually have to calculate the math, but you have to know the relationship, okay? You have to know the relationship to do this, okay? So now, okay. Maybe I should try an Instagram live one, see what happens there. I don't think that'll work. I think it'll be crap. So now, let's do current yield first. So how do we get current yield, people? We do coupon over market price. So let's do coupon of 7. We could tell you where this is going to be anyway, but we want to do the math. So current yield is going to be 7 divided by 108, not 105. Well, I hope if I actually could type. Okay. So if you look, I did this 7% divided by 108. It doesn't matter. You have to, but look, it's going to be a 6.4% bond. So that is the coupon. That is the current yield, 6.4. So if you remember, premium bonds, they have the triangle, right? So if it's a discount, it goes coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Coupon's the lowest, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. And on the premium side, it's coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Get that down in your fucking head. Coupon, current, yield to maturity, yield to call. Say it, say it, say it. Everyone say it to me. Okay, so now, so if it's a premium, it goes coupon, then current. Yeah, sorry for the little rant. Coupon, then current, then yield to maturity, then yield to call. So, Jacob, if you know that the 6.4% is a current yield, you tell me, Jacob, where the yield to maturity is. Is it below the 6.4 or is it above? And what they're going to do is they're going to give you one yield that's below the 6.4, and that's the one you're going to choose, which I just fucking told you the answer because I'm an idiot. So if it's a premium bond, the yield to maturity is going to be lower than the current. They're only going to give you one choice below it. Okay. If you're using Past Perfect, because they're assholes, they will give you 2. Maybe that's why they don't work with me, because they call them jerks and assholes. But, I mean, to be fair, if you can pass the Past Perfect ones, you're going to kill it on the real exam, okay? If you can pass the Past Perfect ones, you're going to kill it on the exam because they go so deep and they try to trick you so much that the actual 7 might feel easier than you. But the problem is they push. They push so hard on certain things. They make it so hard that sometimes it's just not helpful. It's kind of like everyone says, oh, I should take an exam that's harder. Well, if you're taking this, what's a hard exam? The MCATs. They're so hard, they're not going to help you. Past Perfect goes so deep and so minutia and so into the weeds on a lot of stuff that you actually spend time on stuff that will never be tested. Okay. 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 Oh, Peter, thank you. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Okay. Trevor, that's awesome. So what's with the liquidation on the ODD? I don't know what that means. On the oh, I know it. Never mind. I got it. So it's not the ODD yet. So remember, when we open an options account, ODD is option disclosure document, in case anyone doesn't know. ODD is option disclosure document. Okay. And when you open an option account, there's 4 things you have to do: disclosure, then approval, then trade, and then you have options agreement. You have to return that within 15 days of approval. Oh, DATO 15. That's an acronym. DATO 15. DATO 15. Disclosure, approval, trade, options agreement, 15 days after approval. Remember that. Now, what Trevor's talking about is a liquidation part. If you don't return the options agreement within those 15 days, if you don't return the options agreement within the 15 days, you can no longer add to your positions. You can only do closing transactions, which is liquidation. Okay. Liquidation is closing transactions. Since I'm on that, let's talk about that. When you create a position in an option, the first one, I was doing this with a student today. If you create a position, the first thing is always an opening. So if you buy a call or go long a call, that's an opening buy. If you write or short a call, that's an opening sale, and that's always followed by a closing opposite. So long or buy is opening buy, followed by a closing sale. Opening sale, which is shorting, is followed by a closing buy. Boom. Lacey, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you. Awesome. I love hearing that. I love hearing that because I'm very insecure and have a big ego at the same time. Okay. Trevor, I hope that helps. Okay. Okay. So, Lacey, I will answer that question in a second. Okay. John, when a client purchases a mutual fund shares from a broker-dealer, she receives a summary prospectus. When will the broker-dealer send the statutory? It should be prior to confirmation. So it should be D. I hope it's right. I was screwed. I'm not a date guy. I hate dates. And that's why when I do the stuff, I go concepts. I don't remember dates so much. Because here's the thing. As a compliance officer, I have access to a computer and I have the rules. So I just look them up. So I would think that the final prospectus usually is going to be either with the summary or no later than the confirmation of the trade. Okay. Now, yep, data 15 works. So Lacey, Kaplan, here's the thing about Kaplan. I'm not their biggest fan, but the feedback I'm getting is that if you're taking the 66, they do a better job explaining the state regs and stuff like that than SDC does. But SDC does a better job of explaining the investment stuff. Hope that helps. So, yeah, that's perfect, Jacob. You did it. Data 15. DATO, disclosure, approval, trade, options agreement, 15 days later. Okay. Now, so Lacey, if you have a choice, Kaplan is fine. Kaplan is 100%. Awesome, Alfredo. I love it. And Jared, thank you, Alfredo. Come on, keep coming at it. Just keep watching the videos and coming on here. Now, Kaplan and STC are awesome for the 66. They're both good. It's like 1A depending on how you study. So you can't go wrong with Kaplan. A couple things on Kaplan, they go a little too deep on the math. But the good thing is they have thousands and thousands of questions that are very, what's the word that you want to call it? You can adjust them. You can change it. They're very flexible. You can trade a 10-question quiz or a 40-question quiz or whatever you want. And if you haven't bought Kaplan yet and you want to, go on Series 7 exam Reddit and reach out to Michael Weiss. He's the moderator and he has a link to get a discount, 15 or 10% discount. I don't have it. I didn't reach out to them. I don't like doing the code stuff. If I'm going to use them, I'd rather just have a page. So this way you can go there and I can put it all on one page. So if you haven't bought Kaplan yet and you want them, go reach out, find Michael Weiss, and he can give you a discount on that. And you can reach out to him. And the Series 66 exam Reddit is pretty solid too. They're very helpful. Okay. Matt. I'm taking the SIE tomorrow and have been scoring mid-70s on the Past Perfect. Oh, you're rock solid. If you're scoring mid-70s on Past Perfect, you're rock solid. The ones I'm missing are mainly equation, hedging, option strategies. Okay, so here's the thing. Past Perfect is an ass kicker. Even they make you do hedging, break even, max gain, max loss on the SIE when it's not on there. If you can do break even on a regular option, like a buy a call, buy a put, what is that? So break even on buy a call is strike plus premium. Break even on a put is strike minus premium. Okay, boom. Doesn't matter buy or sell. That's and you have to know max gain, max loss on them. If you got that, you're good. You're not going to see a lot of options questions on the test. You have to know this. If you're long stock, how do you protect? You either buy a put or sell a call. Sell a call for income, buy a put for protection. If you're short stock, you buy a call for protection, you sell a put for income. Okay? Those are the things. What other math? Make sure you can do stock splits, make sure you can do current yield, and make sure you can do, And the basic ones, like very basic convertible, like to get the ratio, you do par divided by the convertible price. And then to get parity, you multiply that ratio times the market price of the stock. That should be it. Okay. Okay. Hope that helps. Okay. Oh, good. Do it. Okay, Drew, you got this. Okay. How you doing on this? The 66 is such a tough test. I mean, it's not tough, but it's just like it's very fickle. Okay. 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 Well, you're kicked out. So, John, you're kicked out? I wonder why. That's right. John, who answered the question, he said it was he got kicked out of the chat. I don't know why. That's weird. Okay. Oh, mid-80s, and you should be fine. Okay. Good, Matt. You got this. So, again, past perfect. If you're in the mid-70s, look, in reality, if you're passing past perfect stuff, you're solid. Okay. Drew, you're going to nail it. Okay. Yeah, Con, you're fine. Again, if you're passing mid-70s on either STC, achievable, Kaplan, or past perfect, even training consultants, not so much. You got to be in the 80s. But if you're in the mid-70s on the big four, then you're going to be fine. As long as it's not from memorizing and it's more from learning, then Rose, how are you? Late night for you, coming on a little late. Hot date you had, huh? Okay. So, boom. I love it. Okay. So, Fredo, I'm glad to help you. Okay. Now, okay. Jared, which types of bonds are most affected by inflation? Okay. So, one of them is not tips. Tips are not affected by inflation, or they're not bad. They will adjust for inflation. Long-term bonds. So treasury bonds are the most affected, okay? So the lower the coupon, the worse the inflation is. So reality, the better the bond, the longer the term or the higher quality, like AAA, AA, insured, anything that is safer and long will be most affected by inflation, okay? Hope that helps, okay. So now let me jump a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Somebody just hit me on YouTube, said they passed. I love it. Samantha, congrats if you watch this. Okay. Now, JD Bullish. You need to shave. Okay. Can you explain mathematics that might appear on options in the questions in the 7? So here's the thing, and this is going to sound really shitty. If you do the membership thing for $9.99, I have all the math videos on there. But I'm going to help you out a little bit instead of being a total jerk. So I'm not going to do the how to answer them all, but I'm going to tell you what you do need to know is you need to know max gain, max loss, break even. Okay. On the hedging one, which is so you have to know that if you're long stock, you sell a call for income, you buy a put for protection. If you're short stock, you buy a call, and I'm going to keep doing this, so don't bug out yet because I'm going to go farther on this. Short stock, if you're short stock, you're going to buy a call for protection or sell a call for income. What's the pattern here? You sell options for income, you buy for protection. Now, to get break even, when there's hedging, stock and an option, it's always stock, not the strike, stock, plus or minus premium, okay? How do I know if it's plus or minus? What am I going to do? I'm going to do stock. If you see the same, you add. If you see 2 buys or 2 sells, you add. If it's a buy and a sell, you subtract. I'm going to say that again. If you see stock and an option, it's always stock plus or minus premium, not the strike. If it's the same thing, 2 buys or 2 sells, you're going to add to the stock price. If it's a buy and a sell, you're going to subtract. Boom. If it's a straddle, you're going to add the total premiums to the call price, and you're going to subtract the total premiums from the put. Remember, if they're the same, you add. If you're different, you subtract. The straddle is buy or sell. So you add the premiums and you add or subtract. Add and subtract. If it's a spread, if it's a call spread, you net the premiums out. And if it's a call spread, you add to the lower strike. Or if it's a put spread, you subtract from the higher. God, if I'm giving this shit up for free, I need a fucking like. Seriously, that's some good shit, okay? And always remember the dominant option, the larger premium, tells you bullish or bearish. So if I'll do it this way, here's a cheaty one. Look for the lower strike price, no matter what kind of option it is. No matter what kind of option it is. Look for the lowest strike. If that's a buy, it's bullish. If it's a sell, it's bearish. I'll say that again. If you have a spread, this is for spreads. Call or put, doesn't matter. Find the lower strike price. If it's a buy, it's bullish. If it's a sell, it's bearish. Okay. If you need more and you want to learn how to do max gain, max loss, break even, and all that, boom, join the membership and or on my website and you get the videos. But it's actually cheaper to do the membership because the videos you buy for like $10 each, but you have them forever. Okay. Okay. Drew, look, you're in mid-80s. I think you're solid. I really do think you're in good shape. Okay. I really do. Okay. Okay. Again, Rose, how are you? Okay. Okay. Okay, so JD, when did you fail it? Okay. Yeah, it's true. I have that little video about failing. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Okay. Again, if you want the math stuff, go on my video. So here's the thing. So I have a quick video. I'm going to just tell you real quick. I have a little TikTok video and it's on my shorts on what happens if you fail. Who fucking cares? Just fucking get over it. Seriously. Just, okay, 2 weeks ago. So you have, so JD, yeah, 100%. Guys, I keep forgetting to say this, and I try to say it in the beginning and the end. Jacob runs study groups. He's trying to do Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 Eastern or 7:30 Central Time. SIE and 7. I don't have one for the 66. I feel bad because John wants to do that. And then the one person who's going to do it kind of bailed because she didn't want to work with other students, okay? So I'm telling you, since people are alone and you're working from home, it's hard to work with you don't have other people to sit with. So join these study groups. I'm not involved. Remember, I'm not involved in it other than trying to facilitate it to get you on there. And I see the emails. So Jacob is doing every Monday and Wednesday night at like 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We don't care about Central, so we're going to Eastern. Let's try them. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's good. It's after work. It's almost like Monday you do a study group. Boom, you guys can come up with questions for tonight. I answer the questions, and you do another study group Wednesday. And then if you have questions, you come on tonight and ask them. I think it's a good pattern. Then you have 4 days. You're going over stuff. If you can't come up with an answer, ask me on Tuesday. Do the same thing on Wednesday. If you can't come up with an answer, ask me on Thursday. It works. I'm happy to help you out. And even you can do is if you guys go in the study group and maybe Jacob has all the questions, he emails them to me, I'll make sure I get them. I'll spread them out. So you have to watch the whole fucking thing, but I will answer them. Okay. Now, so if you have time, JD, I would say no, first of all, I don't know when you're taking it. Tell me when you're taking it again. If you have more than 2 weeks, you can do this. If you have to work during the day, it's a little harder. And if you're using either Achievable, STC, Kaplan, or Past Perfect, we can do this. If you're using training consultants, get another vendor. They're good as a supplement. Okay. Oh, May to August, you have tons of time. So here's what I want you to do. Just start over. Pretend like you've never studied before. Okay. Even if you got a 71, okay, that's fine. So Kaplan, that's fine. So I would try to reread the book or even watch the videos. Just kind of start over again, but don't take a lot of notes. And I always say, try to do it in the morning. If you're not commuting, do it in the morning because you're much more fresh. So I would spend the first week just reading the book again. Maybe not doing the options again. Maybe watch videos for the options, but I would just say, read the book from the beginning. Okay. Start over, act like you've never studied before, read it over. Don't take a lot of notes. Just kind of get the picture. Just read. And anything you come into play where you're like, I don't get it, not highlight, but take a note on that. Oh, Patrick, so close. Okay. So we got to talk about that. So again, listen to me on this. So what you do is if you fail it recently, write down everything you can remember about the exam and throw it on the phone and take a couple of days off. If you just failed it today, write down everything and then take the weekend off. But JD, you've had 2 weeks already, so I need you to start like tonight or tomorrow. Start reading the book. I know you don't want to do that, okay? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to reread it, but I promise you it'll help, okay? Just reread it. Don't take a lot of notes. Just get through it, okay? Then, once you're done with that, go start taking chapter exams. Every chapter exam that you take, if you get a 75 or higher, move on. If you get less than a 75, do either reread the chapter or at least watch. If you barely get below a 75, rewatch the video. If you got below a 70, reread the chapter because you obviously don't know it. But here's a couple chapters not to worry about rereading again. DPPs, don't reread. Fuck it, just 2 questions. Balance sheet stuff, don't reread, just 2 questions. Margin, don't reread, just 2 questions. Options, and you can read the options at account opening, but just do a lot of questions and either work with someone. Find a tutor. They'll help you. I mean, even if it's not me, Michael's good. Michael Weiss is good. Brandon's good. There's a lot of good guys out there that can do stuff, okay? I have the videos, which will save you money, but whatever you want to do. Now, so again, and as much as it's painful, you will thank me later when you go home. You're going to read that book. Same with you, Pat. You're going to reread the book, and you're going to see stuff in there. Go, oh my God, it was on the book. Okay. Yes, Alfredo, that's fine. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. When I mean the book, I mean I should say since we're in 2022, 2021, it should be just reread the material. Okay. So Achievable, yeah, and Brandon's video and Achievable are fucking solid. They're really good. Okay. So they're really good. And the other thing is if you're taking the SIE, I have the SIE. I kind of do the whole book in video form. I cover what's needed on there. Okay. It's called the SIE book. It's just, that's what it is. And then here, come on this thing every Tuesday and Thursday and ask questions. So as I tell everyone, I want everyone who comes up with, everyone should come on here and ask one question, because I have a rule. You can't ask your second question until I've answered your question. So that gives everyone a chance to ask their question and I can get through it. Okay. I try to limit this to an hour or so. I don't have anyone tonight, so I can go longer if I have to. It's amazing. Usually Thursday, I think I'm going to get out early because nobody comes on. They'll come on late. Maybe they're drinking. Like I'm always like 8 or 9 people until about 9:15, and then boom, it blows. I always think I'm at one of these nights I'm going to come on here, and it's going to be really fucking embarrassing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. I get it. But here's the thing. It used to be one test. Remember that. Before 2018, it was one long test, which, okay, it was 6 hours, 3 hour break. You did 3 hours, and you took a break, then another 3 hours. There's 250 questions, okay? Okay. Jacob, awesome. Yeah, pretty boys drive Ferraris. Remember, pretty girls drive Mercedes. Pre-sale group designated member. I love it. Don't forget Dato 15. Okay. All those acronyms I think are great, Jacob. Okay. Make sure you get sleep. Make sure, I can't say this enough. Make sure you read all 4 answers before choosing. I can't say that enough. If you don't read all 4 choices before you choose, you deserve to fail. And you will. So if you can't jump on the first answer, because a lot of times the first answer sounds good, but it's not the right one. Okay. Okay, Rose, you need help with the 63. I have some videos on that. The best thing you can do is just read the book. It is the 63 is one of the ones that once you get through the book once or twice, just bang out questions, bang out questions as much as you can. Okay. Do them as much as you can, because you got to get the timing down. You got to get the wording down. And the thing is, you're either going to get, the problem with the 63 is some people get an easy one, and then some people get one with like fucking novels as questions. Okay. It's there. So it's just, you just got to get the timing down. You got to be able to take that on the practice exams in under an hour, so that when you go to the real exam, it's longer, Rose, so you can get ready for it. So if you can once you get through the book once or twice and you get it, start taking chapter exams. And once you're done with that, start taking finals and just bang out finals. It's the only exam that I'm okay taking a lot of tests, because it's more about memorization and stuff than about concepts. Again, so the test before this, to understand, anyone who tells you, oh, just take a lot of questions, they probably took the test in the 80s, 90s, and 90s, like when I took it. So I've taken it 3 times. I took it in 89 in paper at Murray Bertram High School in New York City. Then it expired because I worked on the stock exchange. I didn't carry it. I took it again in 2003. And then I took it again in 2018. Okay. So I know how it changed. I took it before the split. In reality, I almost think the 7 top off is harder than the old 7, even though it's half the questions, because the old top off, the SIE was built into the 7. So you had 250 questions, but you had about 80 or 90 gimme questions. So that bumped your score up. Here, they're separate. So you got to pass 2 different tests. Where before this, if you could get through the SIE would help your score. So it's just, they may try to make it seem like it's harder, but at the top off, and I had one student, this great kid, former Cornell lacrosse player, Dartmouth maybe. He took the test, the old 7, and he failed it by a couple points. And then they took the new one. We worked together for like a month, and then he passed the new one. And he goes, the new one was a lot harder. It was a lot harder than the original one, because there's no easy questions. There's very few easy questions on the top off. Okay, not bad, guys. I think we're slowing down. I got 24 people. If you guys have questions, ask. If not, I'm getting out on a 24 note, on a high note. And I feel bad because John got booted. I don't think it caps me. I hope it doesn't cap me at like 30 people. Okay. Okay. No, what it is, it's not, the questions aren't weighted, but the test is weighted. So what they do is, it's not that each question is weighted. Each question has a score of how many people, they have a percentage. Like they have, what my friend says, he goes, they have a 99 percenters, and then they have the 5 percenters. The 99% are the ones that 99% of the people get. There's no 100% questions, which is, I guess, makes sense. But then there's the 5 percenters where only 5% of the people get it. So if what they do is, when your test is all together, if you're taking it tomorrow, or they create your test 3 days before at noon on the 3rd day before your test. That's why if you cancel it after that, it costs more money or they don't let you, because they've already created a test. That test is scored as an aggregate of how hard and soft. So what they do is if you have a lot of hard questions, they true your score up. So in reality, if you're taking the SIE, you have to get 53 right. If you have a really hard test and you get 49 right, there's a chance you pass. So it's really you're getting a 70% because they true it up. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Which of the following securities settles in clearinghouse funds? Should be options because they're non-exempt. Okay. So is this that that Series 7 thing? Okay. Okay. So okay. T-bonds and T-bills. T-bonds and T-bills are Fed funds because it's one day. See, the thing is, it could be options because I would think that they're not exempt. So what happens is, but the thing is, clearinghouse fund means T+2. So here's I'm gonna put the question in front. Okay, there we go. So hopefully it'll clear out. Oh, nobody can read it. Oh, that sucks. Will it clear out? Nope. Oh wait, here he goes. Okay. Oh, it's backwards, so it doesn't help you. I'm an idiot because I don't understand that. Okay. Which of the following securities settles in clearinghouse funds? Options, T-bonds, muni bonds, or T-bills. So remember, T+1 means federal funds. So T-bonds and T-bills settle T+1, they're Fed funds. So now it's options or munis. And I would lean toward options, but options settle T+1, which means it's not clearinghouse funds. So muni bonds settle T+2, which is clearinghouse funds. Stocks, bonds, and clearinghouse funds means T+2. Fed funds means T+1. Okay? Okay, guys, if you need any help with tutoring, reach out to me, series7exam.org, not .com. I don't know what .com does. I don't think anyone can get that. Series 7 exam with the number 7. If you want to join in on our Monday sessions, every Monday we do a 1-hour thing. That's the middle. That's a serious studying. Not the casual gives you all the option ones. It's $9.99. It's a fucking bargain at any price, right? So that's you get my option videos, which will solve your problems. The $24.99 one gives you we get a Monday. You get the options video plus the Monday call every Monday. Remember, for a warning, it could be 10 people, it could be 2 people, it could be 30 people. Okay. Got you, Alexis. Alexis, have a great night. Everyone have a good night. If you do the top one, the VIB one, you get those two. Plus, every other Tuesday, I do a Zoom call. That's the Monday one's a Zoom call also. It's not like this. It's back and forth. Share screen. We do questions together. I think Trevor and Ryan did them to get not Trevor. John and Ryan did it. They like it. The VIP one is every other Tuesday. I do a Zoom call with a max of 2 people. And if I have more than 2 people, then I will make sure that the people are the same test. Anyway, I love it, guys. You don't have to do that shit. Please do me a favor. If you want to buy on Amazon, click on that link. I love it. I get a little gift card for $5 every 3 months. Okay. Okay. It's called SIE, the playlist, Alfredo, where I do that is called SIE, the book. And I have 20 chapters in there. It's funny. It's my most seen playlist. If you like what I'm doing, please hit like, subscribe. More importantly, share this shit. If you have kids in college, if you have friends in college, send it to them. The SIE stuff. I know it sounds embarrassing. If you have a professor, a finance professor, send it to them. If you have an econ professor, send it to them so they can tell their students about it. Because remember, if you have friends in college or you took finance or if you have business, whatever, if you can get the SIE done before you graduate, it makes you much more hireable and it takes the stress off. I tell people, try to take the SIE in junior, senior year of college, or during the summer when you're interning, so that when you start, there's one less test you have to do. And then if you have the time, you get more time. Anyway, guys, that's awesome. Thank you. Guys, have a good weekend. Stay dry. Enjoy the summer. One last thing. Remember, I'm doing the pizza party August 2nd, Midtown. Uncle Paulie's Pizza Place right by Grand Central in Midtown. It's on whatever it is between 44th and 45th, right next to Grand Central, right next to JP Morgan. Okay? Boom. Okay, I'm going to let you guys talk for a second. Just doing the 7 and the SIE. I don't understand that. I'm trying to, okay. Lacey, ask that one again before I go. Oh, got it. Oh, I got it. Yeah. So Lacey, you're taking the, what? Okay, wait a second. Lacey, what are you taking? Now I get it because you're talking to Jacob. I'm nuts. What test are you taking, Lacey, again? Because if you're taking the 66, I have a guy, John, who may want to do a study group. If it's so the study group that Jacob's doing is just the 7 and the SIE. Anyone who's doing the Series C6, email me and type Series 66. Oh, Jacob, you're a rock star. You could probably make a business out of this. We should talk. Because I was thought about, never mind. We're not going to do that. My job is not to take every dime you have. I'm just trying to do this help. So if anyone's doing this 66 and wants a study group, email me and put 66 study group. I got a guy, John, who wants to take it. And hopefully a couple of people taking this test tomorrow. Same thing. Everyone, good night. Jessica, did you already go to sleep? You had early ones and you didn't have a lot of questions. I did answer your question, right, Jessica? Hope I did that. Okay, good. Okay. Call me this weekend. Definitely, Jacob. You got my number. Okay, everyone. EM, how are you? I'm about to sign off. You got a question before I do? Or are you going to tell me you passed or something? Tell me good news. Okay, everyone. You'll have a good night. I'm going to give it 10 seconds for EM to respond. If not, I'm just saying hey. And, perfect. Listen, guys, hopefully we got it. EM, how are you? Have a good weekend. Everyone, please keep reading. Work on this. We're dropping quick. I had 17 likes. I feel so good. Everyone. Oh, Lacey, email me. I can set up a study group with this guy, John, who's phenomenal and he knows his shit. He's looking for someone to do study groups with. So shoot me an email. It's kenfinnan@gmail.com. kenfinnan@gmail.com, Lacey. Do that. And if you just put Series 66 study group, and I'll send it over to John, and we can make it work. If you want to do a study group, but if you're gonna, don't do it if you're gonna bail. Because I had one student who I really liked her, but she didn't want to do a study group. She thought I was running it, and I'm not. It's just between the two people. Anyway, you all have a good night, and I'm gonna eat dinner. Good night.